looking at property insurance, it's important to look at COPE information. COPE stands for construction, occupancy, protection, and exposure. Construction is what type of materials is it made out of? Is it brick? Is it concrete? Is it wood frame? And occupancy is who is in the building. Protection is what sort of risk mitigating factors are in place in terms of like sprinklers or security. And then exposure is what is that area? Is it a flood zone? Is it earthquake? Is it important from an earthquake standpoint? And these are the things that are important for COPE. So looking around you see these old buildings, and you basically have to rate what's the square footage, what's the square footage, what's the occupancy, what's the exposure, and these are important factors in coming up with a proper rate for the buildings. So you look at old brick buildings, you look at new wood frame, you're looking at, is it a commercial space, is it an apartment, what is the actual exposure within that building. So this is what we look at, and it is important. It is important because you want to make sure that you are getting the proper rate. Because you're looking for, you want to avoid catastrophic claims. So like if the building burns to the ground, it's wood frame. What's that going to be? But the carrier needs to make sure if they're putting up the money for, a $40 million structure, if it burns to the ground, they're out $40 million. That would be a hit they wouldn't want to take. So they'd want to make sure that they rated it properly for that kind of exposure.